Yep, still got blueberries. Surely we do. And I'm going to tell you what. There's still a burst of flavor. Yes, they are. Whew, they're a joy. Just come down the walkway and grab a handful or two. It's hard to believe here on August 21st, 2022. Yeah, we still have blueberries, though they're starting to come to an end. Even though by the looks of it, you may say otherwise. But they're still yummy. In the hand or in a bowl with cream, cereal, or even some muffins. So many ways to enjoy the fruits. Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. I see you stopped on by again today. And as you saw, we were enjoying some of our blueberries, which we still have quite a few left. Now it's getting slimmer with every day. But we are enjoying them every day, and so are the birds. We're sharing, like we all should. Yeah, I would apologize for the lighting, because it is a highly overcast day. But that's the weather pattern we're going to be seeing for about the next 10 days. Pardon me if I have blueberry on my lips. Now, I can't see myself like you can see me. But hey, since y'all stopped by, why don't we take a walk and see how my little gardens are growing? Okay? What's going on, Speedy? You getting all cleaned up after breakfast? You are? Well, I hate to bother you when you're cleaning up. Of course, if you wouldn't roll around all over the driveway, you wouldn't need to clean up as much, would you? Yeah, well, that's Speedy, and I'm sure the other ones are around here somewhere. Yeah, somewhere being the key. But here we are at the south side garden bed, you know, by the driveway. And let's see what overnight we got for rainfall. Well, it looks like we got what? 2 inches and 1/10. Woo! We got 2 inches, a little over 2 inches, night before. So in the last 2 days, we've got a total of probably about 4 1/4, maybe 4 1/2. And here we are at our little lunchbox pepper, which has struggled throughout the blistering heat, the drought, and now that we're in the monsoon, and the temperatures have fallen off into the 80s. Hey, we've had a couple of days in the 70s. And you can see more blossoms are coming. Plenty of little small peppers. We haven't enjoyed several peppers off of this. Yep. More peppers, more blossoms. I see a lot of new growth. So with the rain and the lower temperatures, I'm starting to see it come back alive. I surely am. Been there for a while. It was dropping a lot of leaves. Now over here on this one, the banana pepper, it's still dropping leaves. The yellow, almost overnight. And then they fall to the ground. And I was a little bit worried. But part of it is just too much love too often. Woo, because it would get really wilted and look so pitiful during the heat of the day. I really laid the water onto this pepper. And I think I laid the love on too much. Yeah, major cause of yellowing leaves is, of course, number 1, overwatering. Or underwater. Now, I definitely knew I wasn't underwater. But I think I overdid it. And then, of course, Mother Nature has been sort of kind of overwatering here the last few days too. And it looks like, by the forecast for the next 10, we're going to be getting plenty of rainfall. And I am so thankful, because it is a blessing. And with it comes a different set of challenges and problems that we will have to face. But you can see the new growth starting on this banana pepper. Still got plenty of peppers, and we've been enjoying many of them. Ooh, and they have been flavorful and juicy. She's looking a little sad now, but I'm thinking it's going to pull through and look just fine. But the real hero of the season has been our cucumbers. We have ate cucumbers till we pretty much are cucumber in so many ways, one of which I shared with you. A cucumber stir fry of sorts. And last time we did a walkabout in the gardens, these cucumbers were sadly looking like they may have come to their end. And they still don't look the greatest, but they're coming back. Let me show you how. You see up in here, I started to show you the beginnings of this in the last walkabout, where these here new growth points were starting to form. Now look at them. Look at here. Look at here. That's almost perfect cucumber. Ooh, it's a beauty. You see this new growing point? Comes all the way down. Or, let's go further down. Oh, there's another cucumber down there. Way down low. Because you'll see, right out of here came this new growth. And up it goes. And it keeps going. And going. And going. Way up there. But there's more new growth popping out where once were leaves. Look down here. A new growth with a cucumber way down this low, as well as right here, virtually almost at the beginning of the vine. Where I cut the leaves, more buds are forming. See them? It's not only on that one, it's on this second one too. See them? And look at this. It formed right out down here where once a leaf was. There's a new cucumber right there. Here's another one that formed way down here. And you can see even on this third vine, there's a new growth. Everywhere there was a leaf where I trimmed earlier in the season, now new growth has sprouted, as you can see right here. I hope you can see it real well. I've actually, even in years past, came down so far and just cut the cucumber vine off, like right here. Where these were all sprouting, they just start to climb up again. And they'll grow to pulp. And they'll grow to frost. Yeah. Oh, while we were playing, we knocked off a baby. Yeah. As you can see, we got plenty more on the way. Yeah, this whole cucumber vine of 3 plantings, just 3 plants, is coming alive again with all this new growth. You can see cucumbers back in there. And it just continues up again. To there. Well over my head. These vines that cascaded down have now grew new growth. Where here again once leaves were. I truly believe in the method of cutting your leaves off rather than letting them die. Now, here's a leaf that hasn't been cut. It's still somewhat alive. There's new growth coming out of the leaf crotch right there. So yeah, will we continue to have a bounty of cucumbers here on the old home place? Well, it's looking like that for now. So we come to our first crookneck squash. You know, it's a yellow crookneck. And it's got some issues. It's been around a long time. And you can see the yellowing on the leaves. And if you look up underneath it, you'll see some spotting as well. Yeah, that's powdery mildew. And right now with this one, it's under control. It will be back. But what you have to do is not only spray the top of the leaves, but you have to spray the underneath. And I'm spraying with the H2O2, hydrogen peroxide and water spray. And I've stepped it up to 16 tablespoons per gallon. Because with this constant rain, things like powdery mildew, downy mildew, other funguses get among us. And it's a daily battle. I'm not spraying today because more rain is soon to come. But the next sunny day I get, I'll be spraying again. Here you can see it, the white on the leaves. That's active. Underneath, you'll see it as well. So it's very important when you're spraying to make sure you get on top and underneath your leaves as well. Or you're just fooling yourself. And you wonder why your chemicals, whether it's your H2O or other fungicides, are ineffective. Well, it's not that they're ineffective. Your method is not effective. So do your due diligence. Take your hand, flip the leaf over, spray the underneath. I know, it's time consuming, it's labor intensive. But if you're wanting to keep going, that's just exactly what you'll do. And just think how long I've had these squash plants. All season long. And as you can see, more squash is yet to be. To me, that's rather amazing. Let me show you. So the plant looks awful compact right now. It really isn't. I've been doing something that I haven't shown you. Let me show you. Now let's look down here. You see where the plant comes out of the ground right here? And if you just sort of kind of follow it, it goes around here, goes around here, comes around here. You see it's all coming around, up and over and around, and here it comes right over to here. In all truth, that whole vine is probably 6 to 8 feet long. And what I've been doing is just coiling it up as it's grown to keep it in its place. You see, there was nowhere for it to roam except this driveway where it would have burned up and died. So I've been keeping it in its place. Ooh, 3 more squash. And maybe now with these temperatures down in the mid 80s to lower 80s and high 70s, ooh, they may go ahead and get pollinated. And I'll have plenty of squash going into the fall season. Well, that would be marvelous, I would think. Our beans, you know, our Kentucky Wonder, rattlesnake pole bean cross, that we keep growing out here from our own seed that cross-pollinated. Oh, back in 2018, 2019. Yeah, she's looking rather ragged. But we brought it through all year long. And even it is starting to show signs of some new growth, even down low. Not as much as I would like. As you can see, the vines are fairly bare. But blossoms are starting to form up almost everywhere. Yep. Something we've seen far and few. There's some there with a little tiny baby bean. There's some more with other baby beans. If we head up on in here, there's some nice beans coming along. As you can see, right here. Look at that one. Mighty fine. With some more babies yet to be. Oh yeah. As you can see, almost everywhere. Sort of gets back to that word perseverance. They haven't done much all year, but every day they were watered. When the spider mites and thripes came, they were sprayed. They've been sprayed with the H2O2 every time everything else has. Because I found that for soft-bodied insects, such as aphids, thripes, mites, the H2O2 eliminates them as well. Multi-purpose spray it is. A bactericide, a fungicide, and an insecticide, all wrapped up in one economical package. But don't tell, or they'll jack the price up on us, okay? Let's just keep it as our secret in our little community here on YouTube. Oh, but look at this celebrity tomato plant. Now this is me at shoulder height. And there it goes, way above my head. In fact, those poles are 8 feet. Yep, I had to add them to support it. Why? Because now, look at the tomatoes on it. There's a nice clump of 3. Another one back in there. They're not huge. Right now they're about tennis ball. Maybe they'll get to be baseball. But there's more blossoms coming. And the temperatures are favorable for more tomatoes to be. So I just couldn't let it be. I had to find a way to keep tying it up and letting it reach for the sky. And this was my sort of janky solution, but it's working for now. And here's our second crookneck squash. Yellow, that is. And it's looking good. You can see it's got a lot of new growth here. But you can see over here we got the green and yellow, not the yin, but the green and yellow mottled leaves. Here again an indication of past powdery mildew. And you'll see it even more when we flip over the leaf. Yep, there it is, active as can be on the underside, as you can see. Quite prolific. So I may have to spray this one after y'all all leave for the day, unless you want to stay and help. And I've done the same thing with this squash. You can see this is the growing tip right here with the baby squashes on it. And if you follow along, it just goes around. See the vine? See, it goes around behind the bean pole, comes around here, comes down through here. Yep, comes back under, goes around here underneath the growing tip, heads around, comes right back here where it goes in the ground here. Here again, it's probably 8 feet long, but I've been coiling it around just to keep it in its place. This is its space. Otherwise, it would have done like 1 year and went all the way across the driveway. And I don't want that this year. So as you can see, yeah, we still got the bean here that we just had to plant because there was a pole. And it's been through everything as well, as all the plants have. armyworms, mites, thrips, aphids. Oh yeah, you can see they've had their way with it. But then again, there's some more blossoms and a baby bean too. Now of course it ain't gonna keep me alive and prevent my starvation, but it was fun just seeing if we could get it through. In fact, that was the whole purpose of this garden. Yep, I've had some tasty treats. More cucumbers than I could eat. Squash, tomatoes, banana peppers, and lunchbox peppers. All in such a little space. I'm quite proud of the little south side garden bed. It's done fine in a less than fine growing year. In fact, downright horrible. So let's take a walk on down by the south side fence and see what's happening down there. You know, the grass is going to be damp. Your feet may get soggy. It'll be okay. Yeah, I was really wanting to mow grass. That ain't going to be happening. It'll probably be a jungle by the time I can. And now what are you looking at? Well, you're looking at a couple of pumpkin vines. You can see a lot of the male blossoms poking up above the flowers. And let me tell you what, the bumbles are really loving these. Yes, they are. Oh. And here we got where it all started. One here, and it looks like we might have a borer. So I'm thinking we'll have to pour some H2O2 down in there too. We got another side vine coming off here. That'll be okay. We don't want it going up the fence. So we're trying to manipulate it to head east. It's not wanting to. It's wanting to head south. But the second vine starts here. Like all squash, as pumpkins are, there's just a massive amount of male blossoms so far. I've only seen one or two female. And I was hoping for a pumpkin, but that just hasn't been the case so far. I had one right here. You see? The snail is eating it. It just didn't make it. Shriveled up and died. And the snail is now having his way with it. He, she, who knows? She's not talking. We'll just say she. But the vines are looking wonderful. And they're already up here going past the first tire planter and about to head past the second one. We're trying to keep them out of the tire planters. Not sure how far they'll go. Oh, there's the beginnings of a possible pumpkin to be. Okay. Looks like another one there too. But I will guarantee you, oh, that vine's probably 30 feet long. At least. But since we're here, we're at the truck tire planters now. You can see here again we're fighting the powdery mildew on the table ace squash from Haas Tools. Yep, this is acorn variety. And we'll head on in here. Uh-oh, broke a leaf. My bad. There's one there in front of you. There's some more in here too. Let's see if we can find another one. Well, other than that one right there. Oh, here's another one. See it right there? Another one right here on top. Now I could show you the two that are way down in there. Maybe you can see them. They're sort of hiding down there at the bottom of the tire planters in the dark. Cantaloupes. Look at that jewel there. Oh, and there's another one right over there. See it hiding under the leaves? Oh, but there's more. Looky right down there. And wait till you see this one. One right there. That one's getting close. And another one right above it. But there's more to be had. We just have to find them. I mean, I think I've seen at least, oh. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Here's a new one, baby. We have the 2 up here. So just digging around, like we just did, we found 5. I lost one to the pickle worms. I guess you have to share with nature. Worms got 1, and so far we got 5 coming on. And that'll be plenty to me. You know, I like cantaloupe, but if we have a bumper crop, it too will become too much of a good thing. And as you can see, we have the yellow meadow flowers in bloom today. Mostly because I haven't mowed the grass. I think they look quite quaint. They add a splash of sunshine to a gloomy day. Don't you think? Let's go up and check the cantaloupes we have by the property line fence. Oh, here we go. This one's one we stuck in the ground. In fact, there's actually 2 vines there. And you will see, right there's one on that vine. Right here's another, a little further along on the left vine. Now, I haven't checked up here on the fence, but you'll also see morning glory running up the fence as well. I let it go. Soon its flowers will put on a show. We don't mind. Still not seeing any more melons. So it looks like only 2 over here. There was once one, but it just didn't make it. Oh, there's another possibility right there. As well as right there. And the vine continues on right here. Over here in our pot, look at the size of this one coming on right here. Look at that. And here's my hand for comparison. You see? That thing is almost as wide as my hand is. That's going to be a nice cantaloupe. Ooh, look at those deep ridges. The netting starting to form. It's going to be a fine one. We also have another one here that's a little bit deformed. I don't think it's going to make it. And another one similar to. That's probably all because of the heat stress. But we do have another one coming not too far behind right there. So this vine's got 2 good possibilities. And 2 I don't think will make it. But they're cute. But you might have noticed as we were walking up some new plants here on the hillside. And we planted these since the last walkabout. And these are the Waltham Butternuts. The only two that survived from the last seed starting that we did. We have one here that was put in during the week, and we have one here. So we have two. And you can actually see a little bitty baby butternut squash forming right there. But like all squash plants, I seriously doubt that one's gonna make it. But there'll be more, I'm sure. The plants are really looking nice. And that's only because we've been spraying them as well. Because if you notice right here, ever so small and ever so slight is the starts of powdery mildew too. My mouth just don't work right today. See it on the back side? You don't see it much on the front or top. Flip it over. There it is. Hiding underneath. So we're going to be spraying today. And then tomorrow I'll have to make a trip. Because that'll be the end of all the H2O2 that I currently have. I have about enough for 3 more sprayer loads. Probably enough to get through what I need to do today. Because the cantaloupes need it too. See it? And remember, the H2O2 is not a preventative. It won't keep it from happening. It just kills it off when it comes. And you can kill it today. And if conditions are right, it can be right back tomorrow. It's a never-ending process. But it's like they say. You can never give up and you can never surrender. You just got to keep fighting on. But with that said, we're back over here at the old raised bed. And our black cherry tomato, it's grown up, it's grown over to the cage, and it's heading back down. All the way to the ground. Continuing with more blossoms. In fact, I'm going to do some cloning of this particular cherry tomato plant. Hey, would you like to see how to do it? Maybe you already know. We really have enjoyed these cherry tomatoes. Ooh, I mean, they're not sweet. They're a true acidic type tomato. Ones I truly love. I'm not real big into candy sweet tomatoes. A little bit of sweetness, but I like that tomato taste and the tartness. And here you can see another cantaloupe vine running along the outside of the raised bed, suffering too from powdery mildew. That's going to be a theme all along our walk, as it has been since the rains have returned. This lunchbox, still haven't done anything with it except spray it. And watch and try to learn as it tries to fight the mosaic virus. Its leaves, every one of them are still mottled. I do see evidence of some fruits forming, peppers. So I've decided, hey, let's just let it be and see what comes of it. I'm not thinking much, but this year has been full of surprises. And just look at the green bell peppers. Look at these. Look under there. Look at the new blossoms. Look here. Growing all the way up. You see them? See? Come over here to this one. Look at the size of that pepper. Look at all the peppers as it climbs to the sky, with many more yet to come. And these are almost up to my shoulders now. Just look at that. These have done amazing. These Bonnie green bell peppers have done even more amazing when you consider how the season's been. Scorching heat, drought, and now the excessive monsoons have returned. And it's just not one plant. Look at here. Look all up in through there. I'll be freezing bells and I'll be dehydrating. There's one starting to turn. So it looks like these might be yellows. Look at those up the back side of that plant. I mean, there's more than I can count. And just for fun, and it may never happen again, I will be saving seeds from the best of these plants. Just never know what will carry on. You don't know until you try. And these are probably a hybrid. I'll just be curious to see how they'll grow out next year. Doesn't hurt to try. But I'll be honest, I cannot believe how these peppers have done, considering the circumstances they've grown under. Truly amazing. One may say, an absolute blessing. Wouldn't you? Then we get over here to the final pepper, which is our gypsy. And you might see she's looking a little naked. Well, since you last saw her, she had some hornworms visit her. And I guess they got tired of eating the tomatoes. And they decided to come over here and get together and have a dinner party on the gypsy. Yep, all happened in a day. But I found them. And I put them away. Just saying. Yeah, it was looking rather more sad than now, but you can see a lot of new leaves are poking out where once the leaves and branches were. There's 2 new peppers. So I'm thinking with care, water, proper feeding, and fertilization, she'll make it through too. Till at least the frost and the winter winds come. But you might have seen several of these right here. Well, I had said I wouldn't do a fall garden. It's just been a tough year. And the old man gets wore down. But I lied to myself, because here's the starts. Fall tomatoes, yep, turnips, kale, oh my, Swiss chard. I'd have to look and see all what's here. But you'll get to see as we put it in and let it allow it to grow off through the remainder of our year. Now lastly in this old raised bed is the zucchini, and you can see it's fought hard and fought long with the powdery mildew and pests and army worms. It pretty much had its way. It's still got some new growth, and I'm letting it just plow along, but something is definitely eating away at it. Not sure what, I can't seem to find it, but you can see the evidence right here. In fact, looking at it, what I think I may do is really radically prune this vine. See, the vine goes all the way back to right here. This is where it starts and heads to the left and runs out through there. But a little while back, this popped up and started growing to the right. And that's what you'll see here. another zucchini plant from the same vine. Here again, its older leaves are looking rather tattered and almost defeated. But it's got new growth coming. It needs to be sprayed as well. Right there, powdery mildew on top of the leaves. And I have sprayed and sprayed and sprayed. And I had forgotten, because I hadn't grown zucchini in quite some time, zucchini just doesn't fare real well with the mildews. Or at least that's been my experience. But I think I will. I think I'll chop off what's growing to the left and try to keep what's growing to the right here growing along. Hey, it's not like I got anything else to do, right? Yeah, really. But overall, the old raised bed is looking fine. Still producing a lot of food. You can see right up in there. Some more cherry and tomatoes yet to be. And that's a good thing. That's why we're going to clone it. I enjoy the taste. And as you can see all the blossoms coming, the productivity. Now I've had more than enough for my salad and fresh eating for this one little old man. Won't be long. Mr. Tom's going to be picking, chopping, blanching, freezing, and dehydrating bell peppers. Hey, would y'all like to see? So there'll be more work to come, as if we didn't have more to begin with. But over here on the northeast corner of the house, where we have a couple of beds, this one here in the rear, where we've got our pickle cucumbers growing. Yeah, they've been fighting, guess, powdery mildew and possibly downy mildew. And here again, we've been spraying all along, and it's surviving. Look at the cucumbers. You see them? See them? Plenty of blossoms, plenty of young cucumbers. Yeah. Some new growth. So it does appear we're going to have plenty pickling cucumbers this year. That one's almost perfect. I love them when they're like that. Imagine a bunch of them in a jar, just pickling away. And the okra, we only got 4 okra plants, Clemson spineless, but they've been giving us more than enough okra to enjoy. It looks like I got a couple to pick right now. One there, and one right here. And you might say, oh, Mr. Tom, those are way too big. They'll be too hard. Well, you'd be wrong. These are still nice and tender. I've been quite surprised. But we'll get 3 or 4 a day. Within a day or two, we've got enough of a mess. Just for me. Yeah, it don't take a lot. More pickles. Ooh, there's another one. Nice and perfect there. Only need about 5 or 6 more, and I could make a jar of my daddy's dill pickles. Huh. We got a blimper right there. Fat on top and skinny on the bottom. Yeah, sort of like me. You know how old man get. We get that there barrel physique going. The belly with the chicken legs. That would be Mr. Tom. But if you think we weren't having enough cucumbers, and you would have thought these would have died by now, well, here again, you might be wrong. Look at there. Another one. If that ain't store-bought perfect, I don't know what is. And we've been doing the same spraying routine, the H2O2. Yep, and it's got powdery mildew and it returns, and we kill it again. Just part of growing in the high humidity. And now the dampness of the everyday storms. If you want to have the food, you got to do what it takes. But these two, they've got new growth coming on. You see it all over. See it right here? Now this one's a little funky. It's got that funky magic going on. But there are more baby cucumbers yet to be. As if I needed any more. I don't know what they're trying to tell me with the letter C. But there's another one curling up. But we've got another perfect one hiding right up there among the leaves and blossoms yet to be. So I'm happy. They don't look all that pretty. They're still producing. And I almost tore them out. Now I'm glad I didn't. I guess it gets back to that one word. The word of this year. Perseverance. If you're going to grow food, you're going to have to learn perseverance, or you just are not going to make it. Maybe it's about time we prepare our mind, our knowledge, and our skills to face what's about to be. So many say the collapse is just days, possibly minutes away. And I hear it every day. And of course, the battle call is stock. Stock up food, stock up everything, continue. It's a daily banter. But you can only stock so much. Maybe it's time to develop those skills. Develop that mindset that to succeed, you're going to have perseverance of Job. That's a nice one there too. Not perfect, but I'll take her. So if you were worried that Mr. Tom here on August the 21st would be a little shy on cucumbers, well, as you can see, you'd have been wrong. Who would have thought it? And this is just an indicator of our moisture level and how damp it is. We got shrooms popping up everywhere. So we're up here at the old clothesline planting where our celebrity tomato main planting is. And you can see, oh, it must be 8 feet tall now. At least on this side, where it has yet to break the supports. There are beans growing all through there as well too. Hard for you to see, but I can. And we're starting to see a lot more blossoms over here with the lower temperatures. So I'm thinking more tomatoes to come. The beans, the Kentucky Wonder Rattlesnake Cross are surviving as well. They've been putting on the beans too. Look at there. Looky here. We just picked these a couple days ago. And we'll be picking again. Ooh, there's a nice fine one. Don't get no finer than that. They're hiding all up in there again. I can see them swaying in the wind. More babies to be. Right there. Ooh, look at that beautiful bean. That'd make Bush proud. Look at that. Roll that beautiful bean footage. And look at these. You can't get these in the store. Slim, trim, vibrant green. I'm loving it. Ooh, I can see some sliced, chunked ham hocks, salt, pepper, some onion and garlic. I'm gonna have me some fine eating come fall time. Oh man, they're everywhere. Even up there in the tomatoes, as I was telling you. Any of y'all want to stay behind after we do a little walkabout, you can help Mr. Tom pick. I won't mind. You're gonna get a little wet, you know, moist, and a little damp, but it'll be okay. Many more up there too. Whew. I'm gonna have to get on the ladder because they're way up high. But you keep them picked off, you'll be getting plenty more. All the way till the winter wind blows and the frost kills them back. Tomatoes, looking good. They got so high and so strong, they broke my strings. Now they're growing to the ground. There's a nice new one. The beans are all interwrapped with them, and that's okay. Oh, there's a nice one hiding right there. More right there. And right in there. And that's just the beginning. And I'm not looking hard. We got them through the army worms. They battled the hornworms and we won. We made it through spider mites and thripes and aphids too. But the battle, it's not been won. Oh, look at right there in front of us. You see that? Another one. Oh, looks like we're going to have plenty more. And we've got so much more growing season left. We got the remainder of August, September, October, November, into December at the very least. Now I may go ahead and clone some of these and stick them in a different place for my fall planting. It'll speed up the process because I'm a little behind to start from seed. I maybe have 70 to 90 days left before the frost and the cold winds start to blow in. Could be more this year, or it could be less. Oh, look at there. Another fine looking tomato to be. Now I'm proud of these girls. They've had a rough life and a hard season to make it through. But now, they may make it all worthwhile. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, right there's some more beans growing in my maters. Remember where those are so we don't forget them when we're picking, okay? I see looking in there, there's even more. Can you grow green beans with your tomatoes? Apparently so. And when you think about it, once tomatoes get this big, they make a real nice support, don't you think? And I see a couple of beans in there that I need to snatch off. They're getting yellow. If you let your beans mature, they'll shut down your production. Hold on while I grab those. Well, y'all, we had a hard time reaching on in there and snatching them out, but we got them. You see, these are starting to mature, and once the beans start to mature, turn yellow and start to dry, the blossoming will stop because this signals the end. And we don't want that. As long as you get these picked off, you shouldn't even let them get to this point. Your beans will keep producing. Just a little pro tip there. So let's go over here and check these plants on the edge of the bamboo forest. And here's a little cherry tomato plant. This is a cherry basket, what they call small cherry basket. And these seeds came from Chris. And I can't wait to see just what grows of it. I'm sure they'll be delicious. And it's a fine looking plant. And we just got a little pole here. Use some zip ties, fasten it up the pole. For now. Just because the rain had beat it all down on the ground. And here we have a pumpkin. It's heading, this side's heading east. And there's a baby pumpkin right there. But the vine starts right here. But it's heading west-northwest. And it's going all the way over here. And then it starts climbing up the jasmine and honeysuckle. You can see what may be a baby pumpkin there. And now all these growing tips are heading up this oak, honeysuckle and jasmine vine. You see pumpkins right there. Here's another pumpkin right here. So the vine came down here. This is the main growing tip. Heading on up there. You can see it's branched out here. Branched out here. Branched out here. Branched out here. I don't know where this vine thinks it's going. It'll be interesting to see. But it too. Ooh, I'm thinking it's probably 20, 25 or more feet long. Go up here and check our shishito pepper. It is really hung on in there. And it's just loaded still with peppers. I think I'm going to be throwing one of them in a stir fry, one or two tonight. Maybe I'll sample one first. See if they're hot or not. They say they're a sweet pepper, but I've been told that's just not the case. A beautiful pepper plant, nothing like the massive green bells. And the last thing we'll look at is this table A squash from Haas. And rather than be more bush, this one's wanting to be more vine. And that's fine. Here again, it's got the powdery mildew too. Yep. All you can do is keep spraying and keep plugging along. But look at the size. Look at the size of that acorn squash. See, here's my hand. It's as large, well, it's actually larger than my hand. And that's a meal for this little old man. And there's another one right there starting. And I haven't had many that I could find. But which ones it does, it looks like they're going to be giants. Yeah, there was one that didn't make the trip. Well, we'll throw it over here where we feed the worms. So y'all, that's about it. That's how our garden grows. I've been quite surprised. Maybe you were too. Yep, the crepe myrtles still in bloom. And I've mentioned that before. I don't remember since I've lived when the crepe myrtles have bloomed for so long as they have this year. Simply stunning, aren't they? So glad I left these older limbs on when we pruned the tree, or I wouldn't have had one bloom for me to see. The bees and the hummingbirds have been loving them. I can't say I can even describe the fragrance. Hopefully I won't regret sticking my nose in. And the fig is doing fine. All nice and green. Got more new growth coming. And what you might not know is figs can have two crops. A spring crop and a fall crop, if conditions are right. Moisture levels, fertilization, light, you know, the three basics. And it does appear, as you can see right here, we're going to have a fall crop too. See? Yes, brand new baby figs do appear. Maybe I'll get more of the fall crop than I got of the spring. The birds have been quick this year. It's about been 2 for them, 1 for me. 2 for them, 1 for me. That's okay. And they're good friends. They've been eating the caterpillars. And like I say, there is mushrooms pretty much everywhere throughout the property of all kinds. Here's another kind right here. Rather unique, I might say. I wanted to look it up to see if they were edible or not. I just haven't got around to it. And there's another growing in the mulch right over there. So even though I'm not 100% organic, you know, I try to be as organic as I can be and still have food this far south. Yeah, it does appear my soul's happy. Because if you got the shrooms, your soul's happy. Or so I've read and learned. And we've done the end of season fertilization on the fig as well. Well, everything's had a fertilization for August. So that'll carry it through the remainder of the year and set it up for next spring. Of course, this mulch, which was 8 to 10 inches thick at one time, is now maybe 3 to 4. And come spring, it'll almost be gone. You see, in the deep south, with the humidity, the higher temperatures, our bacteria and fungus, they're hungry. And they eat pretty much all year round. Yep, things don't last out in the environment like I remember them lasting up in Pennsylvania and New York. Lay a piece of wood out here, it won't be too long. It'll disappear. But the fig is looking fine. A lot of new growth popping up from the base, and I don't mind. And everybody worried about me cutting down my elderberries. Well, what do you think we got right here, growing under the oaks? Yes, my friends and family, that's an elderberry too. Is Latanya not a blossom to be had? I've heard that's pretty much been the case for many who have Latanyas. And I think one viewer said theirs finally did bloom. I checked mine. Not a bloom to be had. Maybe next year. Uh-oh, there goes Speedy. She saw something. What'd you see, Speedy? Grasshopper? Or was it a moth? She is a mighty huntress. And you're seeing it here in live action. Yep. There it is, a moth. Those of you who have been with the channel for a long, long time know she is not only a great moth hunter, but a butterfly slayer too. Yeah, she might not be able to get birds, but she's hard on the butterflies and moths. See her pounce? Well, I think she has caught her prey. Yep. She's giving it those death bites. No, I don't think you can hear it, but the terrorizing screams of the moth floating over the blades of the grass. I think the moth has perished at last. But there you have it, friends and family. What a way to end a walkabout with the mighty hunters, Speedy, Spooky, lanking up the way. You want to see if there's any prey left for him. Spooky, she already put down the moth. You were late. Now she prances back to her porch. She's thrilled. Are you happy? Did you get the moth? Does the moth lay eggs on Papa's veggies and make them mad? I'm thinking. She's seen me get them. So now she gets them too. That's pretty special. She's my little princess, aren't you? And here is the king, King Spooky. He knows all, sees all, and tells little. Especially from the Kitty Crew Security Council. And as you can see, who's waiting in the window for me to return. That would be Lilybit. Yep. She knows I'm close to the door, so she'll be right on the other side. So y'all, that's it for the walkabout today and the talkabout. We showed you what was going on in our gardens. It ain't a lot, it's just a little, but it keeps us going and keeps us happy. It gives us a little treat from time to time, some fresh veggies for dinner time, and I'm appreciated. It's been a true blessing, not only in getting me back in shape and keeping me going, lowering my anxiety and my stress, and not having to worry and spend time listening to all the ways that it might come to an end. But I hope you enjoyed walking along with me, seeing the garden today, seeing the Kitty Crew as well, and I do hope your garden grows well. And if it hasn't, and you've already called it quits, maybe with the temperatures turning down lower, the rains coming back, you might want to try a fall garden yet this year. Just saying. You see, it gets back to it's never too late. And those who persevere will be here to persevere again in the years to come. So hey, until old Mr. Tom, you know the Kitty Crew, Speedy, Spooky, Cleo, Mr. Gray, Magoo, sometimes Heathcliff, and little Gracie and Lilybit too. See y'all on the next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. And I'd like to thank you all for your thoughts and prayers. I do believe that's what keeps the old man going and has contributed greatly to the state of his health and mind. I can't say thank you enough. And I hope you and your family are doing fine as well. So hey, come along for the next video. I'm thinking we'll be cooking up something in the country kitchen. Maybe some of the things that you saw today. So until then, let's call this one a day. Okay? Well guys, if you're good, I'll go in and see if I can find you some treats from your faithful fans and viewers, okay? Okay? Get all cleaned up. Go get Mr. Gray and Cleo, okay? Yeah. Of course, I have to give Lily a bit, which she's right inside the door. And Gracie some first. Okay. Let's head her in. See what tragedy they've caused. You know, my two carpet monsters. Later, all.